maximize our potential as a football team? Did we win as many games as we'd like to win? Which ultimately the goal of the program is to win the Big Ten championship. To me, I feel like if we win the Big Ten championship, let's start with the Big Ten West, then we have a pretty good offense. I'm not really interested in what the numbers are, other than the wins and losses.
You were 3 years ago a play from the national playoffs and your Big Ten championship you spoke about. What do you need to do to get from here back to there?
What do we need to do?
Yeah.
We need to be consistent. We need to execute at a high level. And I think we just need to get back to maximizing our ability. And if you look at that group, we had a pretty veteran group. And I know we had a new quarterback. He had played. We had a lot of offensive linemen coming back. We had replaced 2 tackles. We had a pretty solid interior coming back, including a veteran center. So we felt like we were veteran there. We were veteran outside. We weren't necessarily veteran in the tailback room, but we had guys with experience that had played. And we had 2 really good tight ends that year. Both guys were playing in the National Football League. So we had a lot of talent, but more importantly, we maximized what we had. That year we played really tight, really together. And when the games were close, we found a way to win those games. And I don't know if there's a metric to measure that. I just think it comes down to playing good football and executing at the level you're capable of executing at, whatever that is. And each team's a little bit different.
Brian, how cognizant are you of balance from a play calling perspective, on third down especially? I mean, I looked at the 2 different years, and in 2016, when tight ends or fullbacks were on the field on third down, you ran 45 of 47 times, whereas, last year it was 57 of 80, which is, and same thing with passing. If 74 out of the 75 third down plays with 11 personnel in 16 were passes, whereas last year it was, I think, 73 of 98. So it's just, you're running more in 11 and you're passing more out of other ones. Was that a goal of yours? Was that something you strived for, or is that just the way it organically worked out?
You've confused me with that. But I think I understand the gist of your question, and really, it's kind of like the question Chad asked. It just varies by ball game, and it varies by situation. I think if you look at our third down numbers as a whole, that could be a little misleading. It may not tell the whole story, because here's a good situation. It's overtime last year in the Northwestern game. They go down, they score a touchdown. So we take possession on the 25-yard line. Well, immediately you're in 4-down territory, right? Field goal doesn't help you. You need to score a touchdown to prolong the game, extend the game. So when you look at a sequence like that from a play calling standpoint, really third down doesn't happen until 4th down. So in some ways, when we're in a 4-down situation, which we are fairly often, we try to be aggressive with our mentality and trying to score. Some of those third downs are probably more realistically 2nd down type calls. And I just remember that sequence in particular because we were sitting at 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 7, and we felt like we had a good call on 4th and 4 or less, probably better call than we felt like we had on 4th and 7. So we hopped in the shotgun and we gave a slight passing look, but hammered the ball up in there just to try to get 3 or 4 yards and get into a more manageable situation. So I don't know if it's fair to compare it year to year because I think the situations change. But certainly you want to try to run the ball a little bit on third down if you can. It becomes difficult. I think if you really broke it down, you looked at where those runs happen, a lot of them are in 4-down type territory, or they're in 3rd and 16. And I don't think it takes a genius to know in play calling. There's not many good calls. Sometimes you just want to protect a punt, as no fun as that sounds. You just don't want to do something dumb. And if you look at the flip side of that, we threw 4 interceptions last year. 2 of them came on 3rd and longs, and they weren't good football plays. We certainly would have been better off just taking a knee. So I think you got to factor all those things in. You try to be as unpredictable and as exciting as you can be to some extent, but at the end of the day, sometimes the most obvious call is the best call.
What did you learn about yourself